Joined now by Greg Hardy, the Prince of War, up against Tai Tuivasa at UFC 264. This one has banger written all over it. Do you think this one is going to be fireworks? Are you sensing something big here?
I know it for a fact, man. I've always told the fans what to expect. Never let them down one time, but I'm telling them to expect some fireworks. Expect a bunch of a bloody brawler.
You've got a big following. Everyone knows you in the States. And Tai Tuivasa, he's kind of came on the scene as a bit of a fan favorite as well. He had a bit of a blip, but now he's back on form again, I guess. 2 finishes. Are you impressed with what you've seen from him?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I called him out, man. I wanted the beef. I was sick of everybody talking about that wrestling crap. Marcin was a great fighter, but, they came at me about my wrestling, not about the fighting. And now it's a perfect opportunity for me to come out, do what I love to do and enjoy to do with a guy that loves to do the same thing, man. He's going to bang. I'm going to bang. No fear.
Is it tempting to take him down? He's been very open that is his weakness, right? His ground game.
I guess. If it helps me punch him in the face a couple more times, maybe, but I'm a knockout artist, so I'm trying to get back to my old ways as well. Take a card from Mr. Ciryl himself and cold cock me a couple of motherfuckers and get that run going again.
He's a former rugby league player. You're a former NFL player. And Alexander Volkanovski as well played rugby league. Do you think those sports are kind of underrated for an MMA base? Do you think they kind of serve you well?
Yeah, I think they make savages. I think a lot of other sports and a lot of other things do physically play more to the MMA field, but I think rugby and football, man, they train you mentally. They turn you into what a fighter actually is, and technically I've been fighting for a whole lot longer than I have because, on the football field, you're bleeding, you're breaking bones, you're snapping stuff and wrapping it up and going back out. And that's really the MMA demeanor, man, the ethos of being a savage, being a gladiator, and being a warrior.
Do you think that helped instill that winning mentality into you? Because I know you're out there on your own in the octagon, but, it's also a bit of a team thing, right? You got people behind you who help put you there. Yeah. Does it help you in those moments where you're in adversity, basically? Does that help you kind of push on?
Yeah, it always helps you push on. I would say more so in adversity. It's just my competitive spirit, man. I love to do it. I love to compete. I love to come out on top. I love to show the world that I'm the best, to be the best, represent the country, represent my people. We all know I'm an ultimate team player, so it's a bonus that I get to go in there and go to war with my guys, but I'm happy as hell to just compete.
What does a win over Tai do for you in terms of rankings, and how important are rankings to you?
Oh, I have no idea. I honestly don't even know how it works. I technically just learned all the rules like a couple months ago, so I'm taking it one step at a time. Eventually, I'll figure out how this ranking thing works, but right now, man, we're going to take it one fight at a time. They'll put me there when they need me. And I'll be the king of war.
And what about belts? How much of that is on your mind getting towards the belt, or are you just trying to enjoy yourself and evolve?
Both. I know that I have to enjoy myself and evolve to get to that belt. And the main purpose is to be the best. So I have my eyes on Ciryl. I have my eyes on Francis, and also trying to stay present in the moment and learn and stay focused. But the goal is where we're going, brother.
How intrigued are you by that Ciryl versus Derrick Lewis fight? A lot of people were surprised they made it. Will you be watching closely? And who do you think wins it?
I never watched that fat fuck. I'm not a fan. I think he hits like a girl. I think he's lazy. But I think Cyryl's a phenomenal athlete. I'm excited to see what he does against somebody that has the calm and the patience of a veteran fighter. Somebody that's been in there a lot, like Derrick has. So it's going to be an educational fight for me. I'm going to have my pen and pad out there taking notes, scoping out the competition.
Why don't you like Derrick Lewis?
Talks too fucking much. Pretty much. Enough. That's it. He's one of those rioter patties. He likes to jump on bandwagons and wow. Act like he's a good guy, fresh out of prison.
Speaking of talking, Carlos Felipe he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's been mentioning your name a lot. He says you're a great matchup. He's been complimentary about your physique, but he says he'll knock you out. Have you noticed that? What do you think of that?
I would have to see a picture of him. I'm not really good with names, but I've seen like 2 or 3 guys asking for it and talking about it. Man, a good matchup. And honestly, brother, I'm down for whoever. You know, I see some wrestlers in my future. I think next the UFC is going to want to test me, put me in there with somebody that's going to want to take me down. So whoever fits that bill, I think is who we're going to take next. And I also want to, you know, I want to show the world what happens when you're trying to take me down.
How pleased are you with how your wrestling's come along?
I love it, man. I'm really good. I'm really, really good. I'm not the best. I'm not exceptional, but I'm really good. I've put in a lot of hours. You know, I spent years and years and years, 3 of them, in there in the trenches with Rashad, Steve Marco, some of the best people in the world, and I've taken my lump. So I feel like the number one thing right now is not having fear of being taken down or wrestling. I have that in spades. Just got to cover the techniques, the details, knowing where I'm at, knowing when I'm in half guard, paying attention to it while I'm getting punched. You know, stuff, little stuff that leads you to the stuff that you already know.
Who do you think is going to be champion by the end of the year? A lot of people are hyped about Ciryl. Do you think he's the real deal? Do you think he can? Do you think he can take Francis? I lost your camera there for a second.
Sorry, I got to interview after this. Say it again.
Do you think Cyryl's the real deal? Do you think he'll be champion by the end of the year, or do you think Ngannou still will be that if they come to blows in Paris or wherever else?
I think he's the real deal, 100%. I watched enough of him. I had my doubts. I thought he was a little overrated and padded, but no, he's 100% the real deal, man. I don't know if he'll be champion or not. I think the farther a person goes up the rankings and up the ladder, any sport, your brass is tested, man, and you become a different person. So I'm excited to see, more so excited to see what kind of person he's going to become, because it's easy to, you know, like if I was fighting MMA for 20 years, it would be super easy for me to go in there and smack around Derrick Lewis. It'd be nothing, you know, not even a second thought. But due to the fact that I haven't, you know, I'm gonna have to find out what kind of person I am on that. So I'm like, you know, I feel like when we see that transformation from Ciryl, then we'll know.
This is a really interesting. It's a very interesting card for you to be on with people like yourself, with, of course, McGregor, with Sugar Sean, you know, a lot of guys who are with a lot of star power. Do you like that? Do you like those big events where the spotlight's on? Is that where you shine brightest, do you think?
I shine regardless, boss man. I'm an entertainer. I've been doing this a whole lot longer than little Sean O'Malley, whatever his name is. Been a superstar and a celebrity for a very long time. So lights don't really matter, man. We could fight in the dark in the alley. If Dana shows up and he gives my check, the guy's gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna show and entertain every single bum in the alley.
Would you have a beer with Tai if you know what I mean? Is that once it's all said and done with your opponent, are you that kind of person, or is it once you go to war with someone, that's it?
Yeah. I mean, as long as they don't have a problem with me, and once the last whistles blow, not whistle, football, my bad. once the last tick 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 has run out on the clock, man, I have no ill will or malice towards anybody, unless they're my enemy. If he doesn't present himself as my enemy, man, I'll shoot with his ass.
That's cool. All right, finally then, prediction for McGregor versus Poirier, the big one. How do you see it going?
I'm an ATT man myself, so I gotta go with Poirier.
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Guy. I don't go to the gym anymore. I've had switch teams, but I never ride against my teams, no matter if I'm with them or not. So it's Mr. Poirier all the way.